Let's talk about this now and welcome in Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who is running for re-election down there in Texas. Great to see you, General.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Well, when we talk about illegal immigration and we have cases like this one where, a guy gets 57 months in prison, some people maybe think it should be more. But how much do you think the policies of the Biden administration have contributed to this record number of deaths on the southern border?
I think the numbers speak for themselves. When Trump was in office, the numbers were a third or less of where we are now in just a very short period of time. The Biden administration has dismantled federal law, has dismantled policies that worked and dismantled laws that worked and decided to go exactly the opposite direction. And my view is that they've done this on purpose. There's no surprise in what's happening. The numbers are massive. And I think they're getting exactly what they want. And the fact that some people die on the way or are smuggled and crimes are committed, they realize that's going to happen and they're willing to do it for what they want, which is more illegal immigration.
Yeah, but the lives of all of those illegal immigrants, they don't matter. All the folks here in the United States dealing with the fentanyl crisis, dying of drug overdoses, they don't matter. What mattered is when it hit home to some of these, communities that are considered, elitist Democrat communities, when you had governors in Florida, governors in Texas, shipping these illegal migrants to some of those communities.
Yeah, you'll notice that those sanctuary cities were created during the Trump administration, and they were criticizing him for protecting the border. The reality is they could have sanctuary cities and not have any impact because Trump was, as soon as Biden came into office and he opened up the border and suddenly they got a few hundred or a few thousand. Suddenly they had a crisis. They were begging for federal funding, which I think they've gotten. And they were complaining about the small problem that they have relative to the massive problem that we have in Texas and Arizona and other border states.
Yeah.
60 Minutes tonight actually is doing a story with Anderson Cooper on how the busing has impacted the city of New York, other places as well, and how, this issue, General, has really, I think, opened a lot of people's eyes to the problems that cities and towns on the border in Texas are dealing with and have been dealing with for years. Overall, what impact do you think this decision to bus migrants from Texas to cities like New York is going to have on the long-term way that the federal government or other state governments deal with illegal immigration?
Look, we only have the resources to bus, a few thousand so far, and that's probably not going to change. We're spending billions of dollars protecting our citizens and doing the job of the federal government. But I do think what Governor Abbott did and what now some of these other governors have followed, Ron DeSantis and Ducey, Governor Ducey, I think it does highlight for the American people what the problem is, that there's tremendous hypocrisy from these Democratic counties and Democratic mayors and city officials on this issue. They criticize us for how we have to deal with immigration, and then they just have to deal with a few hundred or a few thousand, and they can't handle it. And we're dealing with over 5,000 a day. And the problem continues to get worse for us, and it has a dramatic social and economic impact on our state.
Yeah. Well, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.